Imagine being born before medicine. No hospital, no doctor, no clean white room, no machine checking a heartbeat, just a small fire, a dark camp, a woman breathing through pain, and a few older women around her who have seen this moment before. Outside the circle of light, the tribe waits. They know what is happening. They also know something we forget today. A baby being born was not just a family moment. It was a survival emergency, because an ancient human newborn was almost impossibly fragile. It could not walk. It could not hold up its head. It could not stay warm for long. It could not crawl away from danger. It could not even explain what was wrong. And yet, somehow, babies survive often enough for you to be here. So what did ancient humans actually do when a baby arrived? Before we go deeper, comment what you think would be hardest: giving birth, keeping the baby alive, or raising it without modern help. Because the real answer is not, the mother took care of it. For most of human history, a baby did not enter the world into a room. It entered into a tribe. The first danger was the birth itself. Human birth is strange compared to many animals. A horse gives birth, and soon the foal tries to stand. A deer gives birth, and the newborn is already built to follow. Human babies are different. We evolved to walk upright. Our pelvis changed. At the same time, our brains grew, and the baby's head grew with them. That created a dangerous puzzle. A large-headed baby had to pass through a narrow, twisting birth canal. This is why human babies usually rotate during birth. They turn, they shift, they pass through at a very specific angle. One wrong detail could become dangerous. This is part of what some researchers call the obstetric dilemma, the ancient trade-off between walking on two legs and giving birth to big-brained babies. So in many human groups, birth was not treated like something a woman should always do alone. Help mattered, hands mattered, experience mattered. The first ancient midwives were probably not professionals. They were mothers, grandmothers, sisters, and older women who remembered what had gone right before and what had gone wrong. In a world with no written medicine, memory was medicine. A woman in labor was surrounded by the oldest medical system humans ever had. Other humans who knew what to do next. Picture the scene again. The mother is near the fire, because warmth matters, light matters, safety matters. One woman supports her from behind. Another watches for the baby. Someone keeps the fire alive. Someone prepares fiber, water, a sharp stone flake, or a shell edge for the cord. In many small-scale societies, birth becomes the work of women. Not because men do not care, but because the women are the ones with the knowledge. They know the sounds of labor. They know when fear is spreading. They know when to speak softly and when to move quickly. Sometimes there is singing. Sometimes there are whispered instructions. Sometimes there is only silence, because everyone is listening to the mother's breathing. Then the baby arrives. No blanket yet. No separate table. No bright lamp. Just a wet, crying little human entering a world of cold air, smoke, skin, smell, and faces. The cord is tied. The cord is cut. The placenta still has to come. The mother must not bleed too much. The baby must breathe. Every second has a job, and the first job is not cleaning. It is contact. Today, we often think a baby is born then placed somewhere. A crib, a bassinet, a nursery. A soft little bed that looks safe because it is clean and separate. But for ancient humans, separation was danger. The newborn was placed directly against the mother's skin, chest to chest, warm body against warm body. This was not just bonding. It was survival. A newborn cannot control body temperature well. It loses heat quickly. It cannot feed itself. It cannot calm itself. It does not understand rooms, schedules, or parenting methods. In that sense, a human baby is born unfinished. Its brain still has years of growing to do outside the womb. Its world is simpler than that. Heartbeat means safety. Milk means life. Warmth means stay. Smell means mother. For the baby, the mother's body was the first environment, the first shelter, the first fire. That is why ancient babies were not put down very much. They slept on bodies. They woke on bodies. They were carried on hips, backs, and chests. They were wrapped in hides, slings, woven fiber, or whatever the group used. The modern image of a baby lying alone, staring at a ceiling, would have been strange for most of human history. An ancient baby did not learn the world from a room. It learned the world from motion, footsteps, voices, smoke, breast milk, a hand on its back. Before language told that baby it belonged, skin already had. Then came something modern people usually try not to think about, the placenta. To us, it often looks like medical waste. But across many human cultures, the placenta was treated with meaning. Some groups buried it. Some connected it to land, ancestry, or the baby's future. Some treated it almost like a twin that had traveled with the baby from the hidden world into the visible one. To ancient humans, birth was not just biology. It was a border crossing. A new human did not simply appear. It arrived connected. Here's where the story becomes very different from the modern one. Today, parenting often looks like two exhausted adults, one baby, one house, and not enough sleep. Ancient humans did not raise babies like that. Anthropologist Sarah Blaffer Hrdy used an important word for this: allomothering. It means other mothering. The baby was raised by more than one person. Aunts helped, grandmothers helped, older siblings helped, cousins helped. Sometimes another nursing mother could feed a baby if the mother was sick, busy, or exhausted. This was not just kindness, it was strategy. A human baby needs milk, warmth, cleaning, carrying, protection, and constant response. Meanwhile, the mother still needs food, recovery, and sleep. That is why human childhood is not just a parenting challenge. It is an energy problem, so the tribe became part of the baby's body. One person carried, one person gathered, one person watched the older children, one person heard the cry, one person brought food back to the fire, and often, the most important person was not the strongest hunter. It was the grandmother. The grandmother hypothesis suggests that older women may have played a huge role in human survival. After a woman could no longer have babies herself, her work did not become useless. It may have become even more valuable. She could gather food, carry children, teach younger mothers, and remember danger. A baby survived not only because its mother loved it. A baby survived because older women remembered how babies die. If you could watch an ancient camp for one day, one thing might surprise you. The baby would not stay in one place. It might nurse, sleep against the mother, move to an older sister, then return to the mother's chest. It moved through the camp like a tiny fire everyone helped keep alive. This changes crying. In many small-scale societies, babies are responded to quickly. If they fuss, someone picks them up. If they root for milk, they feed. If they are cold, they are warmed. This does not mean ancient babies never cried. Of course they cried. Hunger, pain, sickness, cold, and fear still existed. But the response was fast because the baby was rarely far away. No one needed a monitor to hear it. The baby was already on someone's skin. Breastfeeding also lasted much longer than many modern people expect. In many hunter-gatherer groups, children nursed for years, not just months. It was messy, tiring, physical, and constant. But it matched the world the baby's nervous system expected. For the first part of life, ancient parenting was not about teaching independence. It was about keeping a fragile nervous system alive. This is the part that makes the story heavy. Ancient babies were loved. They were carried, fed, held, watched, passed from arm to arm, protected by people who knew the baby was part of the group's future. But love could not stop every fever. Love could not replace antibiotics, vaccines, surgery, clean water, or emergency care. Infant and child death in ancient societies was painfully common. A sickness that today might be treated in a clinic could become a death sentence in a few days. This changed how some cultures welcomed a child. In many places, a baby was not named immediately. The name came after days, weeks, months, or after a ceremony. That can feel cold to modern ears, but it was not always cold. Sometimes it was protection for the heart. Sometimes it was spiritual belief. Sometimes it was an acknowledgement of a terrifying truth. A newborn had arrived, but survival was not guaranteed. The naming ceremony turned a fragile life into a recognized person of the group. It was not just, here is a name. It was, this one is staying with us. And when a baby survived, the whole band had won. As the baby grew, the tribe did not create a separate world called childhood the way we often do. Children were not hidden from adult life. They watched everything: food being gathered, tools being made, arguments, jokes, rituals, cooking, sickness, death, and repair. By 3 or 4, a child might follow older children around camp. By 5 or 6, they might imitate gathering, digging, tracking, or carrying. By 8 or 9, some could use small tools and begin bringing back tiny pieces of food, not because adults gave them a formal lesson, because life itself was the lesson. Children learned in mixed age groups. Older children taught younger children. Younger children copied older ones. Much of the culture moved sideways, from child to child, through play. Play was not wasted time. Play was practice for survival. Ancient children were not miniature adults, but they were not sealed away from adulthood either. They grew inside the real world, not beside it. So what did ancient humans do when they had a baby? They did not just celebrate. They mobilized. The women gathered. The fire stayed close. The baby was caught by experienced hands. The cord was cut. The placenta was treated with meaning. The newborn was pressed against warm skin. Then the tribe began the long work. Carry it, feed it, warm it, answer it. Name it when the time is right. Teach it by letting it watch. Protect it until it can protect someone smaller. The first thing a human baby learned was not independence. It was belonging. Before it understood words, it understood arms. Before it knew its name, it knew a heartbeat. Modern life has changed almost everything around birth. We gained medicine, surgery, vaccines, and knowledge that saved countless lives. That matters. We should not romanticize the ancient world. It was brutal. It took babies, mothers, and futures without mercy. But we also should not forget what ancient humans understood very deeply. A newborn is not designed to arrive alone. A mother is not designed to carry the whole weight alone. And a child is not built by one person. A child is built by a circle. Long before hospitals, cribs, parenting books, or baby monitors, there was the oldest welcome our species knew: a warm chest, a waiting tribe, and a tiny human being, held tightly against the dark.